Hey everybody, I'm back. Another episode of Star Wars Discussions. I took a little break because, long story short, Star Wars franchise ain't doing so good. You can probably tell by the title of this video that this is probably not going to be a pleasant discussion. So if you currently like what Disney's doing to this franchise, you probably shouldn't watch this video or listen to it. What I am going to do is have audio recording of a channel called World Class Bullshitters. They're going to talk for most of this video. And what they say is basically what I'm saying too, so enjoy.
So, let's talk about it. Star Wars Episode 9 has lost its director, and I made a video on it, so I'm going to let you guys talk. But Lucasfilm fired his ass, and I'd like to know what you guys think.
Of course they did. What? Again, it's Episode 9, but are we surprised? Fucking course not. They can't keep anything simple. They can't keep anything straight. Fuck them, man. It's just ridiculous.
I honestly think it's Kathleen Kennedy's fault because I think she's unhappy with the way that they're going with stories, the way the directors are working. She wants a certain thing and things to be a certain way, and she's not getting that, and then she keeps firing these fucking people. So I think that's the problem.
Are we really even surprised anymore whenever there's some kind of news that comes out about how Star Wars is a disarray?
No.
Yeah.
I am personally, because we've never heard that before.
Well, that's because George Lucas was in charge of all that stuff.
True.
So what's he going to do, fire himself?
Well, no, but even then, when they win a different director for Episode 8, they were like, after The Force Awakens came out and everyone was, violently defending that fucking movie, and then they were like, he's not going to be doing 8. We said the same goddamn shit. Of course he's not, because the movie wasn't good, and he fucking knew it wasn't fucking good. This is the second time they've done that for a major, this is part of the fucking franchise, son. This is not like Rogue One where it was a standalone. This is part of the goddamn trilogy, and they fired the director already. This is the second time they've done that. J.J. Abrams was like, okay, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. They got rid of him, and they fucking I'm not making this shit up. He didn't do Episode 8, guys, and then they fired the next dude for Episode 9. What the fuck else? What else do we got to say about this goddamn franchise right now?
It's a dumpster fire.
Yeah, it is.
Exactly. Should we be worried? Yeah, you should be fucking worried, because the motherfucker that they tagged to do Episode 7 admitted that he didn't know what the fuck he was goddamn doing. And then Episode 8, it's a different motherfucker, it's a different vision. And then, okay, yeah, we have a guy for Episode 9. Nope, we fired him. We don't believe in it. Okay, so every movie you had a different director. Guys, are we the only ones seeing this shit?
No, I think look, for as much as Disney likes to put on a fucking shit-eating grin and smile and wave to people, I think Disney has the shrewdest executives ever, and I think deep down they know two things. They know Marvel Comics are fucking up and they're going to change it, and I think deep down they know Star Wars doesn't have the life cycle that they thought it would because of the way they mismanaged it. I know a lot of these fucking 45-year-old white dudes on the internet that comment on my video, Star Wars is bigger than it's ever been. Joel actually is on our side on this one.
No, I know.
By the way, happy birthday, Joel.
You said 45-year-old white dudes, and I was like, Joel and Brian.
Joel's 47 and Brian Leif is 49. They get it right. They're older. No, but you get these people that blindly defend this shit. I don't think the companies are blindly defending it. Have you noticed how they are slightly righting the ship? It's like, we overflooded the market with merchandise for Episode 7, so Episode 8 gets a more conservative release. We kind of overhyped this and put out too much shit for Episode 7. Now we're kind of taking it back for Episode 8. I think Episode 9's it for a while.
Well, I mean, aren't they planning like 18 spinoffs or whatever?
Here's the thing: they also plan to make movies about the Inhumans, and all these other companies plan out these long, drawn-out things. Star Wars isn't a surefire thing anymore. It hasn't been since Return of the Jedi. Yeah. You had the Phantom Menace come out, and that was built off the hype of Return of the Jedi because they had fucking 16 years to fucking stew and make like this really rich experience. Like, oh my god, it's gonna happen, and everyone was so excited because they're going off the old shit to that. Then for an entire generation, Star Wars has kind of just been big, but not the thing anymore.
Yeah, and even with the prequels, there were events. They came out every like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, every 3 years.
Every 3 years, yeah. So I mean, and with this now, we're getting one every year. That's the problem. It's just regular. That's the luster is gone.
Oh, well, yeah. It's not that it's regular. It's not that it's regular. I think that to Jeff's point, Disney knows. Yeah, we fucked this up because beforehand, literally, when The Force Awakens came out, they were the previews were focused on who? They were focused on Rey.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly, they were focused on her. And then when the movie came out, okay, it was about the DVD's coming out. They after the movie was already released, they showed a lot more of Finn. They started showing a lot more of Han Solo. And then with this one, Rogue One came out. They haven't showed her at all comparatively for Episode 8. Like they did the release. I know that they've showed the close up of her with the fucking lightsaber for a few toy stores. But as far as teasers are concerned, especially with it being September, they have not ramped up the Rey train as hard as they did when The Force Awakens came out. Because especially at this point, we're 3 months out?
Yep. It's like 99 days or something I saw online.
Yeah, they have not, especially when The Force Awakens came out by September, they were showing a fuck ton more shit about her. They haven't shown outside of the scene at the end of Force Awakens. They've done a lot more about they've asked a lot that whole what is Rey to Luke. There's a lot more of that online. But as far as the major advertisement for the 8th movie, it is nowhere near what it was for The Force Awakens. That should fucking tell you something.
Dude, you know how I feel. Like tomorrow night, we're gonna get deep into this for our Patreon exclusive Force Awakens drunk commentary, almost to a point where I need to start drinking now to get mentally and emotionally prepared for that. One beer an hour for the next 24 hours. I think I'll survive. Actually, I probably wouldn't even get drunk off of that.
We're fine.
That's me. No, but I'm reading a lot of. Here's the thing. What's different? I've never seen this before about Star Wars. Now, we were a lot younger when episode. Well, Kendo, you were in high school, so you were probably as the end of it. Dion, you and I, and Nick to an extension, were either in grade school or very early high school when episode 1 came out.
Yeah.
We weren't on the internet every day. We weren't fucking reading message boards. We were little kids. Maybe we'd go online at the library, look at Nintendo.com or something. This is just me talking.
Yeah, I was reading entertainment weeklies and stuff that came in the mail that were at the bookstore to kind of keep up with what was going on.
But you didn't see all these negative Star Wars press things.
No, never.
Yeah, Jar Jar sucks. Yeah, whatever. Attack of the Clones was a dumb name, but it was just still the press was still hey, well, it's Star Wars, it'll be awesome. This week alone, I've seen. Okay, here we go. Here's an article. I'm not going to read it. This comes from TheRinger.com. Should you be worried about the Star Wars franchise? After Disney dispatched Colin Trevorrow from Episode 9, less than 3 months after firing Phil Lord and Chris Miller from the Han Solo movie, we asked the Ringer staff the exact question. Well, I'm not going to read that because you guys don't care. But I also found another article from Screen Rant that says Lucasfilm is to blame for all these production problems. They said maybe the Star Wars movies have been good, according to them, but the production is off the rails. That's saying something. This has never been a problem. Now, is it a reflection of Kathleen Kennedy? I would think so, because whatever people want to say, this chick was not groomed to be whatever. She was there from, the 80s on, but she was working with Steven Spielberg and George Lucas and these guys. I'm not even trying to kiss their asses. Come on. Both of those guys have made some of the biggest movies of all time. Indiana Jones trilogy, the originals, Star Wars, and stuff like that. Those dudes are the most important. She's just kind of there for the ride. That's like if my cousin Joey all of a sudden tried to get into the podcast game because we have this show, and he tried to take over because he's related to me, and the show just fucking fell apart. She's not that good. she's just surrounded by a bunch of yes men, like, oh, it's Star Wars, we gotta do everything, this chick said, blah, 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 I don't lose my job.
Yeah, and I love how Mark Hamill just, like, shits on them, and she has to play, like, fucking damage control while he's talking to the press. I love that video so much, and he's just like, yeah, I thought this was happening, and this is, and he didn't like any of it. He's like, I was gonna come in, this part, and say something and, like, help Han Solo or whatever, and then it came at the end, I didn't say anything, it was just me looking at the fucking camera. It's just like, and she's just like, yeah,
I've seen the video, yeah.
But not only that, but to your point, Nick, I think that's a fucking amazing point. Alec Guinness was very open about how much he didn't like Star Wars.
Yeah.
And he gave interviews about how he didn't like it. That didn't fucking stop the momentum of Star Wars. Fucking Mark Hamill says something, and literally the entire fucking Star Wars universe fucking stopped. Like that, like before he said something about Force Awakens, everyone was like, "Oh, she's a great character. Finn's a great character. The story wasn't as bad as people say it was." He said something, and that literally changed the entire fucking dynamic of the fucking seventh movie by far. Anyone who says differently is a fucking liar. So even now, before literally, this one is 3 years before the Han Solo movie. It got leaked that the fucking director and the writers were unhappy with the motherfucker who's playing young Han Solo. That didn't even happen with goddamn the prequels. That shit got leaked before the fucking production was wrapped. Like, what the fuck? What else do you need us to say? This movie isn't coming out for another fucking 2 years, and they are already saying, yeah, we're not happy with this fucking kid.
Yeah, I know.
When did that happen in the Star Wars project?
Yeah, and Ron Howard's now, like, redoing the whole fucking movie, again or something, or picking up where they left off or whatever. Like, it's idiotic. Like, they're spending more money on. It seems like they're going to spend more money on the Han Solo movie than anything else. I want to see the fucking money and the budget they spent on it just to make it, like, feasible or make it even, like, passable by their standards. Like, it's gonna be a fucking train wreck.
Well, hopefully it leads to the end of it. We don't have to deal with Star Wars anymore because clearly the quality has gone down substantially.
Oh yeah, it's it's no longer a quality product. They really fucked up with the beginning of with the whole road to episode 7, just by ramming fucking merchandise down our throats to the 10th degree. Like, it was idiotic. As you saw in Jeff's video that he did about the toys, everything's still there. All of it's still there.
Oh, I know.
But not only
saw a bunch of it today.
Yeah, man, that's fucking crazy. And not only that fucking shit, you talk about the goddamn actors in the movie. Even with the fucking prequels, you had people were going crazy about the fucking the Jedi comlink toys and that whole, when they started doing, obviously wrestling toys did it first, fuck you guys, but the whole, when the toys came with the comlink bits, that shit was talked about. The fucking characters, Ray Park was in one fucking Star Wars movie. And that motherfucker is a goddamn hot-ass commodity in 2017. We talk about fucking Daisy, what's her fucking nuts? And, John Boyega, luckily, is a decent actor, so he's kind of going off. They fucking literally put the entire farm on Ray. No one is talking about Ray right now outside of Disney. No one.
I try with the marketing, but it doesn't work.
That's true.
Well, even with the marketing, again, we are 3 months out, people. What other Star Wars movie has this little fucking talking about going on about the fucking main character? We're in September. The movie comes out 3 months from now.
Dude,
that's fucking crazy. Yeah.
You and I should be the 2 most excited dudes on the fucking planet. We met 2 years after Revenge of the Sith came out, so Star Wars had died again. So we were still talking about Star Wars. We were still pumped. But we would dream about, oh man, if they make more, blah, blah, blah. We would talk about how pumped and excited we would get. Now they're making them and they fucking blow.
Yeah, now you don't want to go see them. You don't want to do anything. You don't even like talk or think about it. Like it's just a fucking goddamn train wreck.
The old ones.
Not only that, but to go off of your point, Jeff. I mean, obviously, I have no problem in saying Jeff and I are the two authorities in pop culture on Star Wars, and we're not fucking that. That's me being biased, unbiasedly. Fucking again, episode 3 ended. What the fuck happened? Cartoon Network made a fucking TV show based on that universe. What happened around the time Force Awakens comes out? Rebels was about the fucking universe before. There has been nothing extra based on the universe the Force Awakens has created. Nothing. Nothing. And again, before you guys go in the comments and go crazy, please find me somebody outside of the authors for the books that are paid by Disney. There's no TV shows coming out. Outside of the toys, there's no short stories. There are no goddamn online products as far as video projects. There is nothing in the universe specifically for The Force Awakens. I'm talking post Return of the Jedi, Rey, Finn, the fucking New Order. Nothing. And you can't count the books because nowadays it's pretty normal for franchises to pay publishers to come out with their own books. Anything new? No, there's no Cartoon Network shit. There's no Disney Channel bullshit. Nothing on the universe specifically for The Force Awakens. That tells you something.
Does adult content count?
Well, I mean, I'll come to a.
So that's a little clip from World Class Bullshitters. These guys love talking about Star Wars and how it's failing. It's pretty funny, actually. But I got another clip for you from Comic Book Cast. If I can just find it. Came across this video the other day. Some guy does, he answers people's email questions on his channel. And one of the questions was, well, should Carrie Fisher be recast? No, the character of Leia, should she be recast? And this idiot's like, oh, it's so disrespectful not to recast the character and honor her memory or whatever the hell he said. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, dude, you are a freaking moron if you really believe that. I mean, like, first off, what actress would actually want to go for that role? And two, the actress would get more hate than George Lucas on the prequels. Just a fact. So here's Comic Book Cast.
Want to keep talking about Star Wars in a more positive light, but this past, couple days, it's been kind of crazy. And then you have the director of Star Wars Episode 9. He leaves the project, and once again, creative differences are the source of the problem.
It's always going to be creative differences.
Always.
It's always going to be the line they give. But I think it's time that Kathleen Kennedy realizes she has to loosen that grip a little bit. Just let directors do what you've got them to do.
Yeah.
They need to learn that Iron Man 2 lesson.
I mean, like, how many times would you want to see a Death Star explode?
I mean, apparently 8, but
it's still unconfirmed, but because there's like that weird box art that shows The Last Jedi, and the Death Star looks like an older one, but it has markings, and the dish is slightly higher than what it is in the actual Star Wars stuff. So people are like, well...
I've been told that's just a stock image on the packaging, but there is that screenshot from, what was it, Empire? Has Poe Dameron's X-Wing. It looks a lot like the Death Star in the background.
Yeah.
I'm going to say for certain it is, because I don't know any better. For me, it could just be that Star Destroyer Snoke has, which I'd probably put money on it is.
Yeah.
I hope it is. If there's another Death Star, then I don't know. I think I'm done. I've seen this movie 6 times already.
The thing is, if people know, if you think I'm hating on Star Wars, go watch my Star Wars reviews of the comics, and go look at my collection that I upload on online and all them. I have every single issue so far from Marvel's, Disney's, tons of variants. Like, I love Star Wars, but I'm getting into this thing where I'm worried about repetition, and it's slowly becoming in there, and a lot of people I'm talking to are feeling the same fatigue as I am, and it's nothing against what they're doing, but I think they're playing it too safe. And say what you will about the prequels, and God knows I've trashed them enough. You look at those, at least they visually look somewhat different. Like the Naboo Starfighter, I hate that fucking thing, but at least they look different than a goddamn X-Wing. Like,
yeah, it did.
Like, change stuff up. They didn't have AT-ATs. Like, in the Clone Wars, I guess you could say they had, like, the proto ones, that the Clone Troopers used.
That's the thing. My problem with one of the problems with the prequels is you can tell everything's a prototype for what's to come.
Yep.
Like, those little satellite things with the little half donut with the ball in the middle, you could tell it's a prototype Death Star. And it's just like, oh, look, it's a ship they've got to blow up. It's got a sphere in it. Then there's more spheres in the second one, and then they've got to do this in the third one. And it's all very small and like cramped. It's like, can we just grow bigger and like get away from, like, just go to a different corner of this fucking universe. Ignore everything that's happened in this bit. Just go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, they could like use like the excuse where Rey and Finn have to go and find artifacts, take you to different parts of the galaxy.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to be trying to save the galaxy from another Death Star.
And there's so much I think you can do with Star Wars, and there's so much reach and abilities and things you can go out there and like mine. And if it turns out Episode 8 has another Death Star, and I hope to God this isn't the scenario. I hope to God it's not like, hey, look, the entire movie, Snoke has this giant Star Destroyer thing, right? He's floating around, it's cool. And then at the end, they do like that Empire Strikes Back, because I have a feeling that's how it's going to end. And we see them like looking over a construction of a new Death Star. Like, at that point, Episode 9 is dead to me. More dead than Colin Trevorrow walking away. Like, it's just, I couldn't handle that, honestly.
I think a lot of people feel the same way, because the growing quote fatigue of Star Wars, it is getting bigger. Like, I am seeing more and more people kind of turn off to the idea of it, and it's not because the movie, Rogue One was bad, but Force Awakens, it was just a copy, but it wasn't a bad movie.
Like, it was like a good jumping on point for new fans.
Yeah,
get it.
But the biggest flaw people say is it's just a New Hope, which it is.
Yeah,
at the core.
Like, well, a bunch of my friends and I, like my friend Adam, we were talking. I was like, I bet you there's going to be a thing in the Han Solo movie where he goes to Jeddah, the planet that gets blown up in Rogue One with the test. And at some point, he's going to be coming out, doing his wisecracking, thing. And he's going to bump into a dude. And it's going to be Saw Gerrera. He's going to be like, hey, you should join a cause. He's going to be like, I'm no rebel, I tell you. I just can't handle that at this point. As much as I'm actually excited for Han Solo, I really want to see that movie because I like the character, but it's just kind of getting to this point where I need freshness, and I think they feel the same way, because why are you hiring all these directors who clearly have a certain vision and style, and then creative differences they're leaving, and then you're making a by-the-book movie that you want to make? So why are you spending all this money paying all these dudes that you're not going to keep around,
Yeah, I don't understand it. That's my biggest thing about why. You've clearly got them because you liked their idea. Why are you then grabbing them by the sack and going, no, you're going to do our thing? It's the Warner Bros. Mentality. Star Wars has very quickly becoming the new DCE.
It is. It really is. In the worst way possible.
Yeah. And, that might get me some shit, but I don't care.
I'm fully agreeing with you, and I'm a fucking Star Wars fan. Dude, I still have Star Wars bed sheets. That shit's on my bed. Like, yeah, I know, I'm sleeping on the First Order, man. Like, that shit's comfy. So, you know, like, I don't know what to tell you. I need something. I hope Episode 8 completely blows us away, and it's nothing that we picture. But in my mind, because I've seen it with Attack of the Clones, trying to mimic Empire, I feel like, at some point, is Rey going to lose her hand? Who's losing their hand?
Something. You've already had a character who's been hurt by one of the lightsabers. It's just kind of like, the bad guy's now got scars on his face that have to mimic Anakin. It's just like, come on, get away from all that. I know, like, for this trilogy, they're kind of like tied down to the others, like, just because of the older characters. But after this, can we just go like 10,000 years in the future? Let's just go away. Do something completely different.
Here's I would love it if Episode 8 ends and Kylo Ren and Rey are literally like, you know what? No, we're both Sith. And Luke is like, oh shit, I gotta stop them now because I created both of them. Like, completely throw us for a loop we don't expect. Because right now, I feel like, even though I haven't seen Episode 8 or 9, I feel like I know every beat and how exactly it's gonna end. So I'm like,
That's the fault with The Force Awakens, because they've just copied A New Hope, and then you got Rogue One, which is just sticking to the old films. Obviously, it had to. Yeah. But you've got that mentality of now, I know what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
Like they've done it once, and they kind of you can see it being steered in that direction, and hopefully it just flicks a left. But I don't know. And I even feel like, even if they did just go, look, here's a twist, Kylo's good and Rey goes bad, it's like, everyone said that's going to happen from the start. And I know that's no fault of the movie itself, but it's kind of like, even that's going to feel a bit of a letdown to me. But
same. But at least it's something fresh. Like, ooh, look, Yeah.
I just hope that I can see them being good movies, and I think that is all they're going to be.
But that's the thing, like, I really like Force Awakens. Hell, I love Rogue One. Like, I know I'm in the super minority, but I love the hell out of that movie. And
if you look at most people, you're in the majority. I'm in the minority.
Really? Because mostly everybody around me is like, meh.
Every time I tell someone I don't like Rogue One, it look like I'm about to get lynched. It's just kind of like, calm down. It's just still like Squad Star Wars. But, it's what it is.
It is what it is. I'll say this about Star Wars, though. The best quality Star Wars thing that Disney...
And so I was thinking about something earlier today. Another missed opportunity for The Force Awakens. I think Kylo Ren should have been Luke's son. More think about it. His power. Like, Leia is not that strong in the Force, so I don't know how in the world she managed to produce a kid that powerful in the Force. So if he was Luke's direct bloodline son, not nephew or whatever, if he was his son, and he fell to the dark side, it would make way more sense for Luke to give up. Instead of just being his whiny-ass nephew, starts crying every time he doesn't get his way. It'll make more sense, because that's what happened to Kenobi. He told Anakin's friend, Anakin fell. Kenobi tried to train Luke. While Luke doesn't fall immediately, he struggles with it in Dark Empire. He does turn. Briefly. Yeah, I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, yeah, if Ben was his son, I could understand Luke feeling like he had failed. But it's him being a nephew and Ben being that strong in the Force, like, did he like overpower Luke or something? Because just another one of those mysteries that's never going to be resolved, because Disney has no creativity left, or at all, really. because they're wasting it all on remaking what's already been pretty much pitch perfect in the original trilogy. It's really not my problem. It's not George Lucas's problem anymore either. Just look at that beautiful picture. It says so much about what's happening with Disney. I mean, like, say what you will about the prequels, but Lucas had a vision and he saw it through to the end. Disney has no vision. All they see is money. And the only thing I'm really excited for is that theme park coming out in 2019. Other than that, I really don't care. It's like they screwed up, man. You heard in those video clips I played, the audio clips I played. They screwed up. It's over, people. It is over. I mean, like, this franchise is dead. Like, the Han Solo film is going to be a huge flop because it's coming out at the same time as freaking Infinity War. So, you take a guess what I'm going to be watching. Sure, I'm not going to be this new kid trying to play one of my childhood characters. Like, the guy can go screw himself. No way I'm paying to see that garbage. But yeah. Yeah, I'm just growing weary of even talking about this at all. Because it's just so draining me, you know? It's like, talking to somebody the other day, I'm like, Star Wars is not special anymore. Because they're doing this every freaking year. I'm already tired of it. If I had to wait like maybe 2 or 3 years for episode 8, I might be more excited. But since I had the freaking Force Awakens remake of the original movie, and then a stupid prequel the year after that, with another Death Star plot, again, I'm drained. And I'm really sick of Disney's stupid plans. So, I mean, give or take, I still like some characters from Force Awakens. Not Rey, but Kylo Ren I still like because he's the closest I'm ever going to get to Jason Solo. Finn's okay. I just wish he had the ability to become a Jedi. Because if he doesn't, to me his character's kind of pointless. You know, it's like, because in most of the trailers of Force Awakens, he was the one being advertised. It wasn't really Rey in the center, like people think. It was mostly Finn. They showed him with the lightsaber. He was in like all the TV spots. And the movie shows up, and he's like a side character and freaking let me close my eyes and become a Jedi Master. Takes up all the spotlight. And she couldn't be more boring. She is. She's a freaking boring freaking character. I really don't get how people see her. Initially, when the movie first came out, I kind of liked her. I just didn't know why. Her power doesn't make any sense. Nobody, and I mean nobody, pulls a mind trick out of their ass and masters it in the same time. Nobody. Luke couldn't even pull his lightsaber out of the snow and then Empire Strikes Back until he started concentrating. That's with training. Then he had to go to freaking Dagobah to find another master. This chick closes her eyes, probes Kylo Ren's mind, and then does a mind trick like it's nothing. And after, this is also with her thinking Luke Skywalker was a myth. She thinks he's a myth, and all of a sudden she can do mind tricks and use a lightsaber out of nowhere. Like, I don't think so. So my point is, the poor writing, the director drama, and this terrible announcements of these more spin-off films that sound awful, like Yoda, for instance. What the hell could Yoda possibly do before the prequels? But since he wasn't doing anything in the damn prequels except crying about the dark side of this and that, it was boring. It was boring. And I've had enough of the prequel Yoda stuff, man. The prequels don't work. It's just the bottom line. They don't work. Unless you do something like Fantastic Beasts, set in the past of the Harry Potter universe, with new characters, new stories. That's the only way this franchise will continue to live on. If you keep announcing all these stupid side stories about characters we already seen, some don't even need a damn backstory, cough on Solo, because he's already interesting without one. Never needed one. He doesn't need one just to balance his character. It's kind of different with Darth Vader because I wanted to see, well, for me, I wanted to see how we got what it was like before the suit. Well, that's different. Han Solo, the moment he comes on screen, he's established. That's because he's played by a great actor, but it's just how it is written. We don't need to see his freaking parents or what he eats for breakfast every morning. Like, who cares? Who cares? But they're going to do it anyway because they ran out of ideas. I'll tell you one thing, Lucas would never have done this. Just gotta say, man, I hope he enjoys his retirement because he earned it, in my opinion. It comes down to I'm just sick of the propaganda. I'm hearing rumors about a transgender or something showing up in episode 8, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Just a rumor. But they did that crap in the new Star Trek movie, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't bother watching it. Aside from the fact that the Enterprise was falling down again for like the third time in that stupid trilogy. I'm like, that's when I just stopped watching the trailers. I didn't even bother with the damn movie. I heard it was bad anyway, so clearly I didn't miss anything. But, oh boy. Well, at this point, even looking forward to episode 8 is pointless. It's going to be the same thing as Empire. The same thing. Going to have the rebels on the run from the First Legion or whatever the hell they're called after their big ass space station was destroyed. You're going to have well, I don't know if Rey's ever going to be a Jedi because she's never going to be that to me. But a young Jedi training with an old master on an exiled planet sounds familiar. And you got somebody waking up from stasis. Might as well have been carbonite. Same damn thing. And they gotta have the rebels looking for a new base. So yeah, same thing. They even have freaking Imperial walkers for Pete's sake. Not even anything, not even a new kind of vehicle, just the same thing, heavily armored and bigger. Just like the stupid Starkiller thing from Force Awakens. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Like, this is really what they're gonna do. Why would I spend my hard-earned money to see this trash? I already own The Empire Strikes Back. I watch it all the damn time. I don't need to see a remake. Like, do something new, Disney. Do something new. Nobody wants to sit in the damn theater and see the same crap that's already been done. It's like, why the hell would you buy Star Wars? They're just gonna do what Lucas already did 40 freaking years ago. 40 years ago. Just look at that picture and it says everything. Look at it. Disney's a joke. They're a joke. If it's not a movie based on one of them cartoons that we all grew up with, like Lion King, they suck. They don't know how to write this franchise or direct it, clearly. I don't know. The fact that this Kennedy chick hired comedian directors to make a film that no one wants about a guy that's not a comedian. About a character that's not a comedian, has never been a comedian, says everything. That's sad. Pardon my chair. A little squeaky sometimes, but you know. Anyway, yeah. I think that's all I got to say. I'm just gonna go find another video.
Starring.
So this is that Jenny Nicholson chick, and this video is hilarious. So, listen to this.
Intro. Jenny Nicholson, star of Millennial Falcon. Right. Also this week, we have a guest named Gina.
Hi, guys. Gina Ippolito.
What?
Ippolito.
Oh,
That's my last name.
she's a writer on Regular Show. I don't know what that has to do with Star Wars.
In at least one episode of Regular Show, there is an allusion to Star Wars.
Do you like Star Wars?
I love Star Wars.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to talk about Star Wars today.
Oh, okay.
You ready
Great.
for that?
Yeah.
Okay, our topic for today, I guess it's the Han Solo movie. So I was thinking about the Han Solo movie, and I was thinking as far as ruining it, there are a lot of different angles they could ruin it from.
Okay.
So firstly, they could ruin iconic moments that happened in canon. Do you think they're going to have Han meet Chewbacca in the movie?
Yeah, I definitely think that that's something that they're going to do. I think it's too big a moment for them to let go.
I feel like you're right, that they will do it.
Yeah.
But that it will be uninteresting.
I feel like no matter what, it's going to be a letdown.
I was thinking that at no point when I was watching the original trilogy was I thinking like, oh, I wish I could see the moment that they became friends, or oh, he won his Millennium Falcon in a card game. I wish I could see the card game. We're gonna see that too, though, right?
Yeah, I think that anything even slightly hinted at, we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see him make a deal with Jabba.
I'll pay it back, plus a little extra. I just need a little more time.
Of course, we're gonna have Jabba the Hutt.
They're at least gonna pepper it throughout.
Yeah. Now,
That's
do
what
you
they're gonna
think they
do.
would even bother to bring in something new, like Kanja Club?
I've never made a deal with Concha Club. Tell that to Concha Club.
Like, that would be, I think, satisfying to no one.
Yeah, I think, you know what, there are some characters that are just much better when you know less about them. And I think Han Solo is one of those characters. I think he's the guy you don't want to like delve too deeply into because you're just like, it's like a don't meet your heroes type of thing.
Yeah, but Ron Howard's in charge now.
And you love Ron Howard.
Ron Howard has got a full 3 weeks to fix this.
Oh, man.
The whole movie was bad. And they're like,
no.
Ron Howard, help us.
Is it better that they noticed it, though? As opposed to, like, just released it and they're like, this is good, right, guys?
I don't know.
It's great.
Rogue One had extensive reshoots. And it sucked. With Rogue One, all the rumors about the reshoots were that the movie was originally darker, and then the reshoots tried to make it more middle of the road.
I did hear that.
So I think we might see a similar thing where it's probably true that the version they were shooting was too comedic and didn't feel like a Star Wars movie and thus was bad for that reason. But that also sounds like making it a screwball comedy is the only way you can make this premise a good movie. So I think that kind of similar to Rogue One, they are going to basically do reshoots in a way that will water it down to be safe and very boring.
Yeah, I guess maybe they were coming at it from the angle of like, let's shoot it with Han and Chewie as like a buddy cop comedy where they're like on the beat busting space criminals.
I mean, obviously they kind of have a buddy relationship, but do you think we're going to see them as adversaries at first?
Yeah, I feel like that is a typical movie move to do, especially
I think we're going to see like Monsters University. But Han and Chewie.
Oh, yeah.
Han is obviously Mike Wazowski. And Chewie is Sully. Well, let's act out how Han and Chewie would meet each other.
Okay. So I'll be Han and you're Chewie?
Okay, I'll be Chewie.
All right. Oh, meet cute.
Where are
In my
we?
mind, it's
Where
a
are we?
meet cute. Space grocery store.
Okay.
Because I want full meet cute potential. Oh, man, they don't have the chips that I usually buy in this grocery store.
So I'm putting some canned corn into my basket.
Okay. And I accidentally bump into you because I'm so distraught over the lack of chips. Sorry there. Don't get your panties in a bunch, hairball. So you want to go hang out sometime? Cool. Well,
that's us going to the Millennium Falcon together.
Oh, he already has the Millennium Falcon at this point? I feel like Chewie might know each other.
Let's act out then him getting the ship from Lando.
Okay,
I'm going to be Han, and you're going to be Lando because I don't want to do anything racially insensitive.
Okay.
So that'll be on you.
All right.
So we're in space suits, floating in space right now.
Oh, okay.
That's a nice ship you got there. A nice ride.
Thank you. It's the fastest ship in the galaxy. Ha ha ha.
That sounds like something that I would want.
Yeah, I think everyone would want it.
May I have it?
I don't know.
I brought my friend Chewbacca. Now you be Chewbacca.
Oh.
Okay, thanks. So you can be Lando again.
Okay.
This is my friend Chewbacca. We just met at the grocery store.
Oh, cool. Oh, you were trying to get those chips that you like, huh?
Yeah, so we just got a lot of corn.
You can never have enough corn, I guess.
Well, I might try to make some chips out of the corn. Some corn chips.
I'm not sure that's how chips work, but...
I think it is.
You know.
May I have your ship?
I mean, you asked very nicely. Pew, pew! Oh, crap! Oh, crap!
These two are Didnus.
So those two are basically talking about that stupid Han Solo movie. But yet again, I digress. So long story short, yeah. This franchise is doomed. And don't be surprised if they hire someone else for one of these dumb movies and they get fired by this Kennedy chick who's basically the Emperor, more or less. What she is. She's the freaking Emperor. I mean, like, there's no other term to describe her. She's old as dirt, and she's got all this power over Lucasfilm or whatever it's called. She's the Emperor. You know, I'm so glad I have the expanded universe because it's one thing I could try to explain to people. Like, I don't need these stupid movies. I don't. I love the original trilogy. I do. But the way I got into Star Wars was because of the EU. It's not the movies. It was the games, the comics, the action figures, shit like that. That's how I got into Star Wars. That's how it's always going to be for me. I don't care about seeing the same freaking story that I've been watching since I was 5 freaking years old. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the lore. I want to know what's going on with the Jedi. I want to know what's going on in the Senate. And not in the way it was done in the other prequels. Not as, detailed, I guess. Tone it down like there was in the original Star Wars. Like one little scene of people at a table was fine. Or like, Disney needs to get their crap together, man. Stop being scared little girls about freaking Star Wars, because Lucas is not involved in this anymore, so I don't know what the hell they're afraid of. What are they afraid of? Like, they have literally the biggest franchise in the freaking world. What are they afraid of? They're afraid Lucas is going to come back and take over or something? He has no more control. He sold it. I mean, it's always going to be his, to me. So, I don't care what Disney does. Star Wars is always going to be George Lucas. When I think of Star Wars, I'm thinking George Lucas, not friggin' Disney. That's how it is. Oh, boy. Yeah. Hopefully, we won't make any more Star Wars videos for a while, because it's tiring. So, yeah. Until next time.